My journey started in 2020 on March 15th. I met this incredible human named Finn Hutton. And Finn was our second son, and he only lived for 4 months. It was like crushing. It exploded my heart in ways I would have never imagined. We are a group of folks who saved a farm in a small town in Arlington, Washington. And so what was going to happen, and what happens to lots of these farms, is who has the most money, a developer. And how do they make the most money? They carve it into little 5-acre mini farms, which aren't really farms. And so we're a group of folks who came together, purchased the land, because we want to steward the land and keep it as a farm and have regenerative farming. 240 acres has 70 development rights. So we're building 2 villages. We want to find our neighbors. We want to find the people who are like, this is cool, I need this, just like my story. My journey started in 2020 on March 15th. I met this incredible human named Finn Hutton. And Finn was our second son. And his body and the medical system, the medical system couldn't provide for his body, and he only lived for 4 months. It was like crushing. It exploded my heart in ways I would have never imagined. And I really had to make a decision if I wanted to get busy living or wanted to get busy dying, basically. But, he had an older brother who also inspired me, and Finn fought so hard to live. He wanted to live so bad. And he just had that energy to want to live. And so I decided I wanted to live. So that got me on a path of learning about meditation, and got me on a meditation path. And then that journey led me to, what do I want to do with my life? Do I want to do impact investing, which is something I thought about? Do I want to leave the corporate world? But it turns out my path was to stay in the corporate world, because corporations are built of people. And I have a belief, and I've seen healthy people can create healthy technology, to help humans. And so that's my place to be. Well, it's hard and messy world. And so then I was in a masterclass or leadership class, and I kind of dreamed, how could this be easier? And I drew on paper, and I could just imagine people living on land with forests and farms and supporting each other, and also having corporate jobs. And so I had just this dream that we could bring this together. So I wrote it on paper, and then 2 weeks later, my partner's like, hey, here it is. And our friends had joined this project an hour from our house. And so it's oh, we get to go do it. We don't have to wait and save money and do it ourselves. People are already doing this thing. And it's even better than we could have imagined. We are a group of folks who saved a farm in a small town in Arlington, Washington. It's about an hour from Seattle. It was a dairy farm. It was 240 acres, and it was zoned R5. And what that means is you can split up the land to 5-acre lots. And so what was going to happen, and what happens to lots of these farms, is who has the most money, a developer. And how do they make the most money? They carve it into little 5-acre mini farms, which aren't really farms. And so we're a group of folks who came together, purchased the land, because we want to steward the land and keep it as a farm and have regenerative farming. 240 acres has 70 development rights. And so we're building 2 villages that will be on just 5 acres or less each village. So we'll save over 200 acres of forest and farmland. The villages and the people in the village have opportunity to farm and steward the land, and can also invite community farmers to come and have access to beautiful land. Farmers age and can no longer farm. And then farmers don't make money, but what they do have is this very expensive piece of real estate. And it's not expensive because it's a farm. It's expensive because you can build houses on it. So we're seeing this everywhere, right? All across, at least North America. And so the farmer was getting to the place where he, wasn't going to be farming as much. And so, he has this very valuable asset, and developers would have easily bought it and then put it into, 70 small little lots where there's big lawns and, kind of fake farms, but not generating food, and not farms that people could sustain a living on. And so we would have lost it just like any other farm. So, that is the project that we got to save. At least these 200 acres, will be farmland forever, because what's the value is the development rights. And so we're putting all the development rights in small little clusters.
That's amazing. So because you said this is over 200 acres, so that's like conserving like 90% of the land, right, to be stewarded. But you can have both farmers and non-farmers on this village, right? Like you're basically building your own town essentially, right? And I mean, I was reading through the story and I think it's incredible because there's how many of you, like maybe 15 of you right now? And I just love it.
We're using a co-housing model. So this was started in Denmark, and it's gotten quite popular in the US, and there's many co-housing communities. And so how that model works is, as an individual, you buy a house. Most of our homes will be townhomes, quadplexes, and you buy your townhome just like you would anywhere else, and you own your home. But what we also have, and what makes it co-housing and community living, is we have common space, like a common house where we can have meals together, and we have shared infrastructure, and we have shared tools, and we have shared shops. And then now we also have this 200 acres of shared land. As a member, if you purchase a home, then you have access to have a farm. My partner raises ducks, and she already has ducks on the land. We're going to have a little mini duck farm. There's 200 acres of farmland. If it can't all be stewarded and farmed by members of the community, it'll be there for other farmers in the larger community who would like to have land to grow food. You get your own house. And if you decide you want your own washer and dryer, you get your own washer and dryer. And that's yours, just like a condo. And then how this project works, right? The key to this project working of saving the farm is when you purchase your home, you're also helping purchase the rest of the acres. And so then you actually have a part ownership. Now you don't get your own acres. It's collectively, it's shared, but you're an owner of those acres. But if you want to have your own garden, you do actually get your own little backyard too, where you can do whatever you want, as long as you're not using, herbicides and pesticides.
Right.
Finding land, that's a lot of work. So we had two founding couples. Dave Bainline is a permaculture teacher and author. One of his students is Ed, and after Ed took his class, contacted Dave and said, "Hey, Dave, what do you think about if we did a permaculture thing but at scale and brought in community, and then they just took it off." They spent a couple of years, and what was brilliant about what they did is they went around and visited other kind of communities and learned a bunch of stuff. There was a brilliance of the project is built on mission and values. And it's not we're going to have goats or cows or not goats or not. No, we don't know who's going to show up. We have these common mission and values, and then people will come and build it together. And they spent 2 or 3 years working, visiting other communities, learning, and coming up with these values. And when they were solid on the mission, the foundation of what they wanted to build, then they started bringing in people. They started finding the prime farmland, that it has to be above a certain elevation because, we're going to have more water, and just really what's the ideal land. And they found it and were able to save a farm that would have gotten developed. We have the Stillaguamish and Tulalip, tribes in this area. We do need to partner with them for water rights. And so that was early in the process when they bought the land, even before they purchased the land, right? They did a lot of testing of the soil and the water, but then also, met with the local indigenous communities. Regenerative farming and, permaculture does come from wisdoms of people of millennia who have crafted this beautiful land that we get to inhabit. And so, just really honoring and then learning, those wisdoms so that we can continue on. Because, what's important to me is not moving into the land, is when I leave the land, what's it look like? What does it look like for the next generations? We joined the project in 2020, right when they bought the land. Right now, we're getting our permitting. We actually had to change law to be able to, because we don't want condos in the country. Well, you know what? Dense housing is actually very efficient and can allow us to save a farm. And so it took 5 years to get to a place where now we can think about starting construction.
Yeah, wow. And when is construction expected to start? Has it started yet?
Not yet. It can start in the spring, which is one of the reasons maybe I'm talking to you. We want to find our neighbors. We want to find the people who are this is cool. I need this, just like my story. Yeah. Other people have stories. So we're looking for those people who want to join us. And when people join us, then we will be able to build. That's what the timing is. chemicals.
And how is what you're doing different, or what's happening at Rooted Northwest? How is it different than a lot of these other spaces?
Well, we're 2 co-housing villages. There's lots of co-housing. We're making 2 villages, one village of 40 and one village of 30, all on one piece of land. And then the big and is this agriculture project. So like you think of like a food co-op or like a farming co-op project, which our founder Dave had designed. So you kind of take a farming co-op plus co-housing and putting them together. Now, it won't necessarily be a co-op. Farmers can do what farmers want to do, as long as it's not using chemicals and, disturbing the land. I have this dream day. Like, why does work have to be work? Like, I don't want vacation. This is my dream. This is what I want to do. Like, I like to do work. I love to collaborate with people and build cool things that help people. So, like, I would spend some hours doing that. Maybe in an office off in a forest. Who knows? But I don't want to do that all the time. When I'm done that, like, I want to go use my body and pull weeds, harvest carrots, cut blackberries, do whatever's needed, and then come together and have a community meal, maybe watch a movie, play games, and like that's a dream day. So like putting in all of this fun, extra hard work to get to lead this dream day.